Hi folks, my name is Timo and I'm here to guide you through my material creation demo. So let's get started. Let's start by opening our form site. We can start material creation by choosing it from the list. Now we will input the required data to the form. Once done, the requester clicks Validate Basic button to validate the new material's basic data in SAP. Once successful, Validate Material button disappears, Submit button becomes available, and requester submits the form for approval by clicking the Submit button, which appears after a successful validation. Okay, let's look at the manager perspective, and let's start off from the launch site. Let's select a task needing approval to enter the form. The manager then decides whether he approves the creation of the new material. In case of approval, he or she clicks the Create Material button to create the material, otherwise the Reject button to reject and terminate the request. Material Manager can also hit Revise button to send the form back to the requester to be revised in case there's flaws in the material data. Afterwards, the manager needs to validate and create the material classification. Once the manager hits the Validate Classification button and receives a success to the log field, manager then hits Create Classification button, which has just appeared. After creating the classification, only then will the Approve button become available for the manager. Manager will then click it to submit the form to further tasks in the process. Now, let's look at the sales team member's perspective, and we'll start off by entering the form's launch site again. We'll select the task assigned to the sales team member in order to enter the form. Sales team member then adds data for sales for the material. He or she then clicks the Validate Sales button to validate the material sales data in SAP. Once receiving a success to the log field, Validate Sales button disappears and Create Sales button appears, and team member creates the sales data by clicking it. After creating the sales data, Submit button appears and Create Sales button disappears, and team member submits the form for the next task in the process by clicking the Submit button. Okay, it's time to look at the plant team member's perspective, and once again let's start off from the form's launch site. In the launch site, we'll again pick the task appointed to the plant team member in order to enter the form. Plant team member then enters the form and adds plant data for the material. He or she then clicks the Validate Plant button to validate the material plant data in SAP. Once receiving a success to the log field, Validate Plant button disappears and Create Plant button appears, and team member creates the plant data by clicking it, as in the last step. After creating the plant data, Submit button appears and Create Plant button disappears, and team member submits the form for the last step in the process by clicking the Submit button. The last step in the process is to look at the accounting team member's perspective, and we'll again start by entering the form's launch site. As the accounting team member enters the form, he or she will add accounting data for the material. Team member then clicks Validate Accounting button to validate the material accounting data in SAP. Once receiving a success to the log field, Validate Accounting button disappears, and like last time, Create Accounting button appears, and team member creates the accounting data by clicking it. After creating the accounting data, Submit button appears, and Create Accounting button disappears, and team member submits the form by clicking the Submit button, ending the process. While this video demonstrates material creation in SAP, this process can be extended to a variety of other modules. Thank you so much for watching.